All right, we're going to talk about the order of operations here and do a few examples. I know we have seen this before, not in this class yet, but in other classes, I'm sure. The order of operations is just a way of dealing with all the different operations we've talked about. So we talked about adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, talked about powers and exponents, and we talked about absolute values. We said absolute value. So sometimes you have a whole lot of those things in one expression. And so because of that, there is a specific way that you have to do it. Now, the way that we remember it is by using this acronym PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, whatever. The P stands for parentheses, which is another word for grouping. So all grouping first. E for exponents, but that is another form of roots. So if you have square roots and things like that, you should do those next. Then there's multiplication and division, and you should do these left to right. If you have both of them, do them left to right. And then the last thing you should always try to do will be the addition or subtraction. If you have both of those at the same time, go left to right. All right, that's just the basic stuff. That's the theory. What's really going to matter is your practice. So let's take a look at this. When I look at this, I'm going to look at my operations. I have a subtraction, I have a division, and I do have a set of parentheses, but there's nothing left on the inside. So in reality, that's all I have. This is not, you can say it's parentheses, but then if you do it first, there's nothing for you to do. So if I look at this, what it says is to do between subtraction and division, I should do the division first. So that means you write this down, -4. And if I just kind of cover that up, I have -12. Okay, so actually let me just bring this down right here and just do it this way. Right, bring down a subtraction. Now I have 12 divided by -4. That gives me a -3. Let me write my parentheses there. All right, so now I have just a subtraction. So it's -4 minus -3. Well, in order to do that, you have to do add the opposite thing, and that's going to give you a -1. All right, so over here, if I put in a -1, it should be good. Oh, got to check. Now, I want to make sure that we can do these things with all kinds of different situations. What's different about number 6? I think I did something with number 6. Number 6 has fractions. Same idea behind it. We just are dealing with fractions. So, for example, if I had 8/9 minus 5/6, now multiply that by 1/3. Order of operations says that I have a subtraction and I have a multiplication. So I need to do this first. So 8/9 minus whatever I get when I do this. That's going to give me 5/18. Well, I need common denominators. Boom, boom. A common denominator, the least common denominator is 18. So when I multiply this by 2, I need to hit this by 2. That gives me 16. This by 1 and this by 1, that gives me 5. So 16 minus 5 is 11/18. So if I go over here and I do 11/18, we should be good. So that's that. And the next one, I'm going to just go ahead and do another problem or another couple of problems with the order of operations that are a little bit more intense. Okay. But basically, the order of operations always applies. You got to make sure you do it the right way, though.